What's goody team? What's goody team? I'm gonna give about another 5 minutes to join and then we will get started. Haven't posted the link on Twitter, but I'm not gonna post it for this week. The people who join. The people who don't join, you fucked up. You missed it. Kind of upset about GJ, bro. We're waiting for this entry, but again, everything's been moving at 4 or 5 in the fucking morning, man. I'm in bed at that time. But beautiful entries, right off the 50 EMA. Gave us a beautiful retracement. Lower time frames, I believe it gave us like 5 minute, 1 minute engulfing candles, or was that on gold? Let's see. I believe it was on gold. But GJ gave us exactly what we wanted to see, even if you're on the lower time frames, across to the EMAs. The 30 was really all you needed though for this entry. 5 minute gave you the entries. Alright, stop loss right below the structure. TP at the 372. No, there was another pair that we were looking at that had a pretty good entry. I believe it was just, oh, excuse me. I believe it was just GJ. Everything else will counter, and you moved as soon as the market's open. Gold is trapping traders today. USD CAD flew. SAR gave us a 4th-day push. Yeah. We'll see. Gonna be a pretty quick session again. There's really not a lot to talk about. Not a lot to talk about from what we said yesterday and from what we've been looking for since Sunday. So we'll just get everybody till 6:55 and then we will get started. Yo, it's mad cold in this bitch. Alright guys, let's get started. Alright, so AU daily time frame. We know we are in level 3 on a downtrend. Right, price gave us the break of the zone of consolidation, gave us a lower low, gave us a first lower high. All we're looking for here, pretty much again, same thing I explained yesterday. All we're looking for is to see if price is going to give us the confirmation that this is the set lower high. The reason we're looking for this confirmation, right, there's a lot of people who are trading this very early. Same thing I was saying yesterday. A lot of people are treating this like a shoulder head shoulder and they're getting into these trades early. You go down into the lower time frame, which is the 4 hour, and we just look at structure. What is price doing? Right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, and we're at a higher low. And on the 4 hour time frame, we also have an internal shoulder head shoulder. But again, in order for a shoulder head shoulder to be valid, you want to see the break below the lows. The fact that price has been just tapping into these lows and going back up every single time, we already know that this is a low probability area for price to continue these downtrend pushes. When we go and look now on the 30-minute time frame, again, price just made a lower high. We know it's going to give a pullback. And that's all we're seeing on the 30-minute time frame is just that pullback. Price came to these lows, technically didn't really give us a clean break, gave us the inducement, and this is where we start seeing price now continuing that uptrend push. Right, so we are still trading between this lower high over here, but at this moment I'm not currently looking for price to continue these sells back down to the bottom. I'm still expecting price to give us a steeper pullback to the top side to fill that 30-minute gap up at the top that we saw, which is the one up here. Right, and again, once we go down to the higher time frame, we go up to the higher time frame, I'm expecting this lower low end for the lower high now to be made up here. So we'll be patient with AU. I'm either going to be looking for price to continue the push to the top side to give us the higher highs on the internal time frame, to give us that external lower high point, or we just got to wait for price to break these lows. Once price breaks these lows, that'll be the confirmation that the downtrend has started. But at this moment, we're still in the middle of the zone of consolidation, where again, we can see that price is just moving sideways in this area. Rejecting lows, going high, rejecting lows, going back to the middle, rejecting lows, going back to the middle, rejecting lows again like it did last night, and coming back up to the top side. So right now we just gotta be patient. We'll give it some time. We'll give it some time. No rush. AUD CAD, we're still in A1, the first zone of consolidation, where price is moving sideways, where we can see price rejecting highs and rejecting lows the entire time. Last thing price did was reject the lows and went back to the top side. Right at these highs, price is doing what? Moving sideways. See it better on the lower time frame, price is moving sideways. Rejecting lows, highs, coming back to the lows. Right, rejected the lows again, coming back up. So right now for AUD CAD, it's another pair where just gotta be patient. Even on the 30-minute, gave us a zone of consolidation, went back down into our 30-minute lows, tapped into our 30-minute lows, and went right back to the top. We had 2 days of drop. On the third day, gave us a drop no nut. Just gonna mark it as a no nut right now. So nothing on ACAD. EA really similar to what we were saying last night. We're just trapped in this little zone. Right? EA, I believe, also higher time frame. We are in level 3. We're on an uptrend, expecting price to reach our previous peak highs all the way up here. But again, we can see that price on the daily time frame. What are we doing? Moving sideways. So again, it just ties back down to what I was saying yesterday, where there's only 2 different market conditions that could happen. Either price is trending or price is consolidating. And right now, what market condition are we in? We're in a zone of consolidation. So understanding that we're in a zone of consolidation, this is the market condition that we're in, just gotta be patient. Wait for price to start trending. Once we start trending again, that's when I'll start trading. Above everything else, man, the markets have been moving very, very, very early. Which again is very unfortunate because it's not like we're not getting entries. It's not like price isn't doing what it has to do. It's moving. It's doing what it has to do for sure. Right? The only thing is, it's not giving us the movements at the times that we want to see price start moving. At the times that we're on the charts. Right? NYC session, everything's already pretty much already done. Any moves that are left are just little baby pip moves. Nothing that's really secure. So EuroCAD is still one we're in previous peak highs. We still have a 3rd-week high at this point. It's already Thursday. I'm not expecting price to reach up to these highs at this point. Could it? Absolutely. Am I expecting it? Not really. Right? For today, yeah, we had a little day of rise, but price really just moved sideways for the day. So EuroCAD will be patient with that one as well. That's the first one on our list to keep an eye on for the week at least. Euro USD, we are in an uptrend. We're in level 2. At the higher highs that price made, price decided to just move sideways. So again, very similar to the other pairs, guys. Sideways movement, zone of consolidation. Just be patient. We had 2 weeks of rise, but again, the fact that we're in this little zone, in a range, not expecting price to give us that push for this week back to the top side. And that's what we see on the 30-minute. Price is just continuing the downtrend push. It gave us a little change of character on the 30-minute time frame. Higher high, higher low, higher high, down into a change of character. Lower low that price gave us today. Price just melted down. So, another good question that most people probably have right now when looking at the chart. Where's price going? What could we be expecting on EU? And again, when we're looking at structure, higher highs. Damn, man. Higher highs and higher lows, right? We have higher high, higher low. Price gave us a higher high, right? So when we're looking for a pullback, where could the pullback be, right? My first point of interest as to where I'd be expecting price to give us the pullback is the 200 EMA, which is where the 4-hour lows are at. Now, could price go lower? Absolutely, because that's the higher low on the 4-hour, but on the daily time frame, these are the higher lows down here. Not only are these the higher lows, but we have a 30-minute gap at the bottom. So could we be expecting EU to give us a very steep pullback and continue these downtrend pushes all the way back down to the bottom? It could happen before we continue the push back to the top side. So again, EU is very similar to what's happening with AU, just opposite, right? AU, we're expecting price and we're looking for price to give us the set lower high to then continue down into the lower low. For EU, we're expecting price and waiting for price to give us a set higher low to then start looking for those trades on the higher low to go back up into the higher high. So right now we just got to be patient with EU. We have 4 days back down to the bottom, which is okay. Price broke below the 800, so still expecting price to give us those downtrend pushes. Give us that pullback. Once we get that pullback, that's when I'll start trading again. GCAD is in previous peak highs. No, GCAD is in level 3. Right, so GCAD is in level 3. Same thing, we're just looking for a higher low point to be set. At the first higher low, price is just moving sideways. We're back at the bottom of the zone of consolidation, which we can see a little bit clearer on the 4-hour. Price is just moving sideways, rejecting highs and rejecting lows. Now we're back on the 30-minute lows. This could be a good area to start looking to take trades. If price gives us a rejection of the low, something like this, it doesn't have to go all the way down to the bottom. It could give it to us here where it's at. This is when I'll start looking to take trades going back to the top side. If it breaks below the lows, then we know it's going to go down into the 4-hour lows. And this is going to be a good pair to keep an eye on, especially on the 5-minute, 1-minute time frame. Right now we're trading lower low, lower high into these lower lows down here. So I would like to see an inducement of these lows before we start that uptrend push. So GCAD could be a good one to keep an eye on for tomorrow. GJ gave us a beautiful 372. If you caught this trade, congratulations. We talked about it yesterday in last night's session. Beautiful, beautiful trade. If you were up for it, if you took the trade, if you were trading the end of Asia going into London, congratulations. Again, beautiful trade. This couldn't have been cleaner. So right now for GJ, after 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. We're back at the 4-hour highs. We're back at the higher highs on the 4-hour time frame. So gonna be patient with GJ at this point. Even gave us an exhaustion candle on the 4-hour highs. You know, this could be a good. I don't like really talking about trading counter trend, but if there was one pair that I would trade counter trend, it would be GJ. Yep, 5 minute we would have a change of character. I'd be looking for price to break these lows down here before I start taking those trades back down to the bottom. I'm not going to elaborate on the trades going counter trend because I don't want to confuse anybody. I'm sorry, this is the 5-minute BOS. This is the 5-minute change. We'll be patient with GJ. GU gave us a change of character back down to the bottom, moving counter trend, very similar to EURUSD. We are in level 2 on an uptrend. Price gave us a higher high, and we're just looking for a higher low to be set. Again, price moving from higher high to higher low is downtrend. So that's what we're seeing on the 30-minute time frame. It's just price moving from a higher high into a higher low. All right, price gave us a higher high. All we're looking for is a higher low. Once that higher low is set, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades again. NZD USD, we have a day of drop, we have a change of character, we have a break of structure, lower low. Price went to the 4-hour lows. Let's look at the 4-hour once we do this real quick. And you could be a good pair to keep an eye on as well. What do you think I don't like about it? Again, where we're at. That's okay. Price gave us another lower low, lower high. And again, on NU, we're trading at the lower low. So price does lower low, lower low, lower lower, lower low, lower high. Gives us lower lows and lower highs. So taking a short position at a lower low, not the best idea. So these trades on NU are very low probability at this point. We have no engulfing candles. I do like that we're still below the 50, which is good. You know, could we be looking for a continuation? It could be. It could be a good one too. Right, a nice little 23.6, 38.2 retracement, bounce off the 50 EMA. You know, it could be a good trade. But trading at a lower low, very, very low probability. So we're going to be patient with NU. US 30 filled this gap up, induced the traders at 930, went down, trapped everybody again, everybody who thought this was going to be a continuation down to the bottom, and came back up to the top side. Ended up giving us a day of rise. Still trading between the same 30-minute lows and 30-minute highs at this point. We have the wick. I am gonna, you know what? Again, US 30 is a very technical pair, so I'm gonna mark it as that. Right? It gave us a 30-minute inducement, and we're trading between this lower high over here and these lower lows down here. USD CAD coming back up. Again, this is a pair that's very awkward, man. Very awkward. Could this be a level 3 continuation back to the top side? Again, just a daily time frame, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low to continue into the higher highs. It could be. It very much well could be. Very well could be. 4 hours still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. right? So it's still on an uptrend. That's the problem with USD CAD. So we'll be patient. I don't really have anything to say about USD CAD. Right, again, the 30-minute zones are pretty spread out. Or what is the 30-minute high here? Or 4-hour? Don't even know. It's not even marked. We have a little change of character. Yeah, so we are trading between this low and this high on the 30. So we just gotta be patient with USD CAD. USD ZAR gave us 4 days of rise or 3 days of rise. On the third day gave us a rise no net, gave us a fourth day variation to the top side, and then finished the day off on another no net. Price technically never broke above the 800 EMA yet, so still gonna be patient with ZAR as well. And these last couple of pairs I'm not really trading them, that's why I'm not really going in depth with what they're doing. Gold is in peak high territory. We're in the highest point. We're still technically on an uptrend. On the 30-minute, it gave us a lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character to the top side, higher high. We had a day of rise yesterday. Today, price ended up giving us another day of rise, but we opened up with a gap. So we do have 2 days of rise. I am going to mark it as a 372. But we want to be careful with gold because we have a gap here at the bottom. Could we be looking for a price to fill this gap up first and then continue? I would love to see that. Looking at how price is moving now is not something I'm expecting. I'm expecting price to just continue. So we'll come back to that tomorrow, no problem. Bitcoin I'm not really trading, so I'm just going to keep this updated. Still giving us lower lows and lower highs. Did break below the 30-minute. So technically we are lower low and lower high. We're still downtrending on Bitcoin. And then last but not least, guys, US oil. Another pair that I'm currently not actively trading, but I would love to start trading it. I love trading some oil. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Price came up, gave us a lower high. Could we be looking for a continuation? That's where it's at. Right, we know we're in level 2 on a downtrend, looking for price to bounce off the 200 EMA. We had 3 months of drop. On the third month gave us a drop no net. Could we be expecting a fourth push to the bottom side? It could happen. We gotta make another one. It's all good. We'll mark this as on the 4-hour. Price is just, it's consolidating, but we could still see lower low, lower low, lower low, right? So we are still downtrending on oil. Do we have any engulfing candles? Anything that's super clean, super simple to take? What was I seeing here? Oh, that engulfing. We did have an engulfing candle here, but that was already used up beforehand. Then we have an engulfing candle when the market's open, but is not valid because the green candle and the red candle don't have top or bottom wicks. Nothing on the 15, and I'll go down into the 5 on US oil. Got a little mixy with the 5-minute. 5-minute gave us a good entry today. What time was this? 4 in the morning. Wasn't awake for it. Beautiful trade on the 5-minute though, for sure. Cross of the 50 and the 200. If you didn't catch the engulfing candle, you caught the entry right here. Straight down to TP. So that's pretty much it today, team. We'll be back tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Again, if there's something to trade, I'll turn the stream on. If not, I'll let you guys know in the Discord as always. But be aware with a couple pairs. A couple pairs should give us an entry for tomorrow. So we'll be back in the morning. Peace out.